Hello and welcome to a new section of content here on Cyber Anime. I came up with this little premise on the spur of the moment, and I call this section Editorial Speed Paints. Here you'll get to see either my or Shiro's work on speed painting a piece of artwork either of us have done, and one of us is talking about a topic. Or both of us. Be that what is going on in this series, an idea, a discussion video between us, or a theory we've been have about a series we've been watching. It's basically just us talking about something and giving you a nice little visual. Today I'm discussing feminism and its incursion into anime. Wait! Before you hit that close tab, hear me out. Because it's really important for the future of the anime industry as a whole and the dubbing industry here in the West. So if you'll enjoy the music and the visuals, I'd like to give you my 2 cents on the whole Kukuruyo the Feminist in the funny dub of Maid Dragon. Trust me, it'll make sense later. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while now. I saw a YouTuber do something similar and I thought, that's actually a good idea, so I'm going to do this. I've been seeing for a while now a tiny amount of creep coming in on the anime industry when it comes to feminism. And the blame lies almost entirely in the community here on YouTube. We're geeks, we're nerds, we face bullying, insults and all kind of crap for most of our lives because we're weird. We like things most people don't. Me, I'm a big sci-fi geek. Trust me, most of the stuff I'll be talking about here are sci-fi related. So when people come up and say things like, "This is unfair and discriminatory," I for one feel a tug towards that because I know how it feels to be discriminated against. I want to stop it. But the problem with that is there are people out there that simply want to control the discourse and silence opposition. What does this have to do with the speed paint of Tohru from Kobayashi-Sanchi no Maid Dragon? Well, from the title and the start, I think you know. Go check the Funimation dub of Luqua. She's taken from a ditzy, sexually expressive and open character that we saw in the original Japanese dub, which in itself is a joke at the very conservative nature of the Japanese people when it comes to sex, to a woman who talks about the patriarchy and oppressive gender norms. I'm not kidding here. This is an actual thing that Funimation have done. Check the links. I put a link in the description showing exactly that. Now, some have also pointed out that Kana actually uses cuckold and calls Kobayashi a slut. I don't find any problem with that. I don't even find a problem with Kobayashi actually saying, "Don't slut shame me." I actually find that kind of endearing. It's kind of cute. But some of you will be saying, "Well, Lightning, what does this have to do with me? It's not affecting my viewing of a show like this." I promise you, it is. Japan are a pragmatic people. When they see a consumer base that are all uppity about sex and jokes about the body, guess what they do? They remove said jokes from the consumer base. Want proof? Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 3. Koei Temco said they weren't going to release it in Western areas because of the backlash they feared would come from it. And they were right. People were going to stand there and say, oppression, sexism, not fair. Women are being put down, it's sex symbols. Luckily, smarter people in Japan realised that this was just a minor faction of crazy idiots who will scream these things, and they started selling the games to Western audiences through their sites. But the problem when it comes to anime is that the Japanese have a strange relation when it comes to the use of copyright. Team 4-Star and other abridged series have faced copyright claims on their transformative mediums because the Japanese think, we created it, you can't do anything with it. Even when they're shown fair use laws, they still say you can't do anything with it. It's why Nintendo take down anything and everything that's actually to do with their games on YouTube that they don't actually expressively say is alright. So yeah, the idea of saying that Funimation isn't doing a bad thing is way in the wrong. The Japanese will see it, they will see the fan reaction, not put two and two together and think, this is the publisher's editing that are at fault. They'll see people upset about a show, see the stupid edits from the uber liberal agenda that the Western publishers are creating, and think, well, might as well leave the ecchi stuff out of Western areas. They don't want it, they're just upset about it. When the people who are upset about it are a tiny fraction of the amount of people who actually like anime. Which will then lead to more people illegally subbing and putting it up on places like YouTube. Increasing Japan's distrust of Western audiences, thinking we're just a bunch of thieves, and not trusting companies. What will that do? That will decrease the amount of money coming into the anime industry in Japan, which is already facing problems. They're seeing the Western audiences at the moment as more of a lucrative thing, but if they see us just bitching and moaning about, oh no, she's actually expressive with her tits, they're going to actually get pissed off at us and they're going to say, fine, you don't want it, we don't need it. The feminist agenda over the last 20 years has been to infiltrate and take over all forms of expression and industry in the West. They've got hold of the comic book industry. They've got hold of the TV and movie industry. They've got hold of print media. They failed in places like Japan because the Japanese have an ideal completely different to that of the Western feminist. But it doesn't stop people like Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn, and plenty of others from going to publishers like Funimation and saying, "God, that character is sexist. She's just being used for her body. You had better change that to make it more equal for women." When any right-minded person would see a person like Lukawa, who is confident in her own body, relaxed and happy, as a expression of a powerful woman. Because seriously, which is more equal? A woman who is confident in her own body and ability to use it, or a woman who has the idea that the world is against her and everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out? You think the feminist incursion on geek media is going to pass the anime community by? Look at Lukawa. Look at the Funimation dubs that they're producing. Look at Kobayashi Sanchi no Maid Dragon. Tell me they aren't trying to do the exact same thing here. And tell me, seriously, do you want to start seeing the type of... I'm not even going to joke about it. The rhetoric that's currently in places like Marvel, DC. I would say Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers and DC are the same thing, so... Do you really want to see characters like Natsu, like Goku, like... like Bulma? Or, oh, I don't know, who's a sexy female character? Ooh, a redubbing of... Tengen Topper Gurren Lagann. Like Yoko actually coming out with feminist propaganda, because the idiots that are actually in charge of these places now think we have to pander to the people who scream the loudest, rather than actually speak to the fan base who say, no, we don't actually want these politics in our mediums. What we want is the things that we like. Seriously, if you think this is nothing, if you think this is a tiny blip, you are mistaken. This is their toe in the door. And if we don't actually tell them no, they're going to keep doing it. They've tried before, they will try again. Look at Gamergate. You know what's even better to actually make an example of? Look at PewDiePie. The man was eviscerated for not towing the line. By the mainstream media, no less. By the Wall Street Journal. So please tell me, if you think having the ditzy, crazy, sexually open and sexually expressive character of Lukua coming out with oppressive patriarchal constraints isn't a problem, I really don't know how to explain this to you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.